for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We had an executive session. We discussed legal and personnel issues before the meeting. One little thing I'd like to say, there was a water bill in a tenant's name. When it was discovered, it was immediately changed. Okay? We're going to go on to public comments. One person, you're allowed to speak one time. We can't have you say, oh, I forgot. One time, we'll keep it down. It's okay? So we want to start with public comments on agenda items. Anyone? Okay. You on the motion? Jim's on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim's on the phone. Vote on the motion.
Gelfand.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Augenbaugh.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Riesinger.
Yes. Registry of invoices, auto draft.
I make the motion, we approve the auto draft, $5,230.44.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Gelfand.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Augenbaugh.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Riesinger.
Yes. General fund.
Motion to approve the general fund in the amount of $315,247.24.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Gelfand.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Augenbaugh.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Riesinger.
Yes. Penvest.
I make the motion, we approve Penvest, $1,638,950.22.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Gelfand.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Augenbaugh.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Riesinger.
Yes. Perfect pause.
I make a motion, we table perfect pause. That one, we put out an RFP for services for it, just to be on the safe side. I suggest tabling it and putting out the RFP.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Gelfand.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Augenbaugh.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Riesinger.
I'm going to abstain because my wife is the director of that. Condolence resolution.
All right. Whereas the city of DuBois was saddened to learn of the death of our former fire chief and exemplary citizen, Charles Thomas Tom Swagger Sr., on March 15, 2024. And whereas Charles Thomas Tom Swagger Sr. joined the DuBois Volunteer Fire Department in 1956, was a member of Volunteer Hose Company No. 1, and served as fire chief in 1971 and 72, filling this important position with distinction and advantage to the taxpayers of the city of DuBois. Always conscientious to the highest degree in this position of trust and moved only by the best interest of his fellow citizens. Chief Swagger served on many boards and committees, most notably being a delegate to the Relief Association for more than 50 years. The DuBois Volunteer Fire Department was truly a lifelong calling for Chief Swagger, as he was an active member in the department until the day of his passing. Now therefore be it resolved by the governing body and council assembled this 25th day of March 2024 that it expresses its deepest regret and sorrow at the loss of Charles Thomas Tom Swagger Sr., and hereby officially extend an expression of profound sympathy to his family for their personal loss. Furthermore, be it resolved that this resolution be spread upon the minutes of this meeting, and that a copy thereof be forwarded to the family of Charles Thomas Tom Swagger Sr. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and city council of the city of DuBois, Pennsylvania, hereby certify that the foregoing is a true and correct copy of a resolution duly adopted by a majority vote of the DuBois City Council at a regular meeting held on March 25th, 2024, and said resolution has been recorded in the minutes of the City Council and remains in effect as of this date. In witness whereof, we set our hands and cause the official seal of the City of DuBois, Pennsylvania, to be affixed this 25th day of March 2024.
Thank you. Second reading of Council Bill 1982, amend industrial sewer use ordinance. Chris?
It's an ordinance of the City of DuBois amending Chapter 340, Article 5, Section 340-43.2 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of DuBois to update the maximum allowable loading limits of the industrial sewer use regulations.
You want a motion on that?
Yep, we need a first.
Make a motion. We accept the second reading of Council Bill number 1982 to amend the industrial sewer use ordinance.
I'll second the motion.
Properly moved and second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Augenbaugh.
yes,
Jackson.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes. RFP for municipal solicitor. Proposals due April 1st.
Yep, this is just an information to remind everybody that the proposals will due April 1st for the municipal solicitor position. It's just information only.
Okay. Downtown DuBois request for financial support.
Yeah, at the last meeting, we had Shirley here make a presentation for us. The information is in your packet. Wanted to find out if council had made a decision whether they were providing financial support, in-kind support, or how we're moving forward with Downtown Inc.
I'd like to make a motion. I know they were asking for a little more than what we, I guess I'm willing to offer. I'd like to make the motion that we offer Downtown DuBois $20,000. Okay.
In the additional proposal that we were sent from the president of the downtown board, they kind of amended the request a bit to ask for $20,000, then an additional 10 for matching. If they can raise 10,000 from corporations or entities throughout the community, then we would match an additional 10. I think there was another 10 matching.
10 for redevelopment.
If you get for facade grants. So can we consider a motion to give the 20 and then matching if they're able to raise those funds and grants?
You need to have a contract with them for what they're spending the money on and what services they're providing under that contract.
We do have a
contract.
We do have a contract. I'm not real happy with it because it does say per year. I'm not happy with making a long-term commitment.
That's why I did it for 1 year.
Well, it says per year. Kind of leads that.
We can amend it.
Yeah, we'll have to give this to you, Tom.
That would be my recommendation.
Okay. So you want to table it until Tom can review the contract?
We need a motion on that table.
Yep. I'll make the motion. We table it until Tom reviews the contract.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Question on the motion. Vote on the motion.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Augenbaugh.
yes,
Jackson.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes. I would like to see part of that contract, Tom, that the big part that benefits the city and benefits your group also is the accreditation. I would think that I'd be willing to give them whatever, but that would have to be part of the contract that is successful, that you get accreditation.
I understand that. It takes about a year to do that.
Yes, and it'll be a year before we would vote on any more money. That's how I feel. So we'll see what everybody else thinks. How do you guys think? Okay. YMCA Memorial Park Facility reservations.
Yeah, we received a letter from Zach Wilcox, Program Director at the YMCA, requesting the use of some facilities. 2 tennis courts on Tuesday evenings from 5 to 7 p.m. for spring, summer tennis lessons. That would be May 21st through August 6th. 2 tennis courts on Wednesday evenings from 5 p.m. to 5:45 p.m. for youth tennis lessons, July 10 through July 31st. The basketball courts, 1 court on Monday evenings from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. for men's and women's summer basketball league, June 3rd through July 29. And the football field, Monday and Wednesday afternoons, 4:15 to 5:15 p.m. for youth wiffle ball league, April 8th through May 15th. So if you guys could have a motion to reserve those facilities for
Do we
them.
have to repeat all that?
So moved.
Second.
We'll reserve those.
Properly moved and seconded. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
I have a quick question. We post these so that,
We will post them on the doors, yes.
thank you.
Yep.
Are there any other reservations out there now for any other times?
Not that I know of for any of these facilities, no. We have the fields all scheduled through a formal process, but we don't have a formal process for the courts or the tennis or basketball courts or the football field. So I wanted to bring it here, get approval, and we'll post them.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Vote on the motion?
Gelfen.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Augenbaugh.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes. Request authorization to bid 2024 chemicals.
Let's go pavement
Pavement
markings.
markers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Request authorization to bid 2024 pavement
Yep,
markings.
this is our pavement markings for our streets. We're doing this in cooperation with Sandy Township. This year, this is an annual project we have. Center lines, crosswalks, turning arrows, all the safety precautions we need to have at our intersections.
Council wishes?
This is usually done at the end of the paving season, correct, Chris?
No, we paint them now at the beginning of summer. They're all worn down by the
Okay,
plows for the winter.
Okay, the other is part of the paving process, right?
Yeah,
Thank you.
paving we do in the fall.
Motion to approve the authorization to bid 2024 pavement markings?
Second.
Properly moved and second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Augenbaugh.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes. Request authorization to bid 2024 chemicals.
Yep, this is the chemicals we use at the water plant, the sewer plant, and the swimming pool. We bid them annually to get competitive prices.
I make that motion. Authorize the bid for 2024 chemicals.
Second that motion?
Properly moved and second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Augenbaugh.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes. Recommendation to award West Washington Avenue Waterline Construction Contract.
Yeah, this is our CDBG project on West Washington Avenue. We would recommend awarding to Smith Landscaping, pending their approval of their federal clearance through the SAM website.
I make that motion. We approve Smith for the West Washington Avenue Waterline Construction Contract, pending their thing on the SAM.
Contingent on the federal approval, yeah.
Yep.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Augenbaugh.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes. Recommendation to award bids. Concrete patching.
Yep. We had a bid opening. We received one bid from Clear Run Construction and Concrete in the amount of $845.30 per cubic yard. We would recommend awarding the contract to Clear Run. It's a 2-year contract, so it would be for 24 and 25.
They hold the price for both years?
They hold the price for 2 years, correct.
How much of an increase was that over the previous 2 years?
It was about $780 per cubic yard for the last 2 years, so not a big increase.
I'll make a motion to award the bid to Clear Run Construction for 2024 and 2025.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Gelfen,
Yes.
Dietz,
Yes.
Augenbaum,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Reesinger,
Yes. Bituminous patching.
Yep, March 20th, we also had the bid opening for the bituminous patching repair. We had 2 bids, one from BK Asphalt, the second bid from Glen O'Habaker. The low bid was $73 per square yard. From BK Asphalt, we would recommend awarding the contract to BK. That again is a 2-year contract for 24 and 25. And I believe the last contract for 22 and 23 was $67 per square yard. So we're up $6 over 2 years. Again, not bad.
I make the motion, we approve BK Asphalt Paving for $73 per square yard for 2024 and 25.
Correct.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Gelfen,
Yes.
Dietz,
Yes.
Augenbaum,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Reesinger,
Yes. Resolution number 2024-0379, authorizing and approving the issuance of debt with Sandy Township in the form of the Section 108 loan.
This is their loan through their CDPG for Platte Road Sewer Project. I don't know if Tom has anything to weigh in on this, but this has been on our agenda here for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we had sent a red line revision back to Sandy Township. They had responded. There were concerns with respect to language, asking council to ratify prior actions. It's my understanding that the project has been completed. So I'm not aware of what those prior actions were. So I can't counsel you on that section. They sent a red line back, basically putting that language back in. And the language reads, ratification of transaction. The city approves, ratifies, and confirms all actions necessary for the completion of the transactions contemplated herein. So unfortunately, I'm not familiar with the extent of the project. If you're comfortable ratifying with that language in there, that's up to you. Part of it is I'm just not familiar with the project that we've done.
I make a motion, we approve resolution 2024-0379, authorizing and approving the issuance of debt with Sandy Township in the Section 108 loan.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Gelfen,
Yes.
Dietz,
Yes.
Augenbaum,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Reesinger,
Yes. Resolution number 24-0380, Juniata Lake Restroom Project.
Yeah, this is a project, like it says, to put a restroom over at the Juniata Lake Park. We need a resolution from council so we can apply for that through a DCNR program.
Where is that gonna go?
It'll go near the pavilion.
Okay, towards the back.
Open year-round, or is that just seasonal?
It'll be a year-round one, similar to the one we have on the walkway.
I make that motion. We approve resolution number 2024-0380, Juniata Lake Restroom Project.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Questions on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Gelfen,
Yes.
Dietz,
Yes.
Augenbaum,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Reesinger,
Yes. 17, West Weber Avenue Railroad Crossing.
Yeah, I had a resident ask about turning West Weber Avenue at Franklin into a two-way crossing. Right now, it's a one-way railroad crossing. I have reached out to PennDOT and the railroad, and it looks like we're going to be able to do that. I just need to get back information from the railroad, and then we'll have to file with the PUC, so it may take a couple months, but it looks like we will be able to work and get that turned into a two-way crossing. I just wanted to give you an update on
Just information?
progress that I was making on that project. Yep.
Okay. Memorial Park Construction Loan and Line of Credit.
Yep. We received a loan line of credit last year to do the field improvement project in the park. Currently, that sits at 0. We don't have anything drawn down on that. We only have until the end of next week to draw down. So our options are to close that or to request a year extension to that.
Is there a cost to request a year extension?
I don't know that. I did not ask him about that. But we don't have any reason for the loan. I don't.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt you. We really don't have any plans.
We have no plans for it. I'm assuming there would be administrative fees for extending,
Okay.
but we don't have any use for the loan right now.
Okay. Council wishes?
Make a motion, we allow the loan, the line of credit and loan for Memorial Park to sunset.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Question on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Gelfen,
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Augenbaugh.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes. Intergovernmental Cooperation Agreement.
Yep, this is the intergovernmental cooperation agreement discussed at the joint board meeting on Wednesday for Sean Arbaugh to be the manager at the City of DuBois and Sandy Township, and for me to serve as the engineer at City of DuBois and Sandy Township.
And when would that be effective?
April 22nd.
I'd like to make the motion that we approve the intergovernmental cooperation agreement. What was the additional cost?
It was $15,000 each.
Okay, and then what, Sean works here partial days, you work there partial days?
Correct. We haven't got the exact logistics, but anticipate us being in each building most days of the week.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Properly moved in second. Questions on the motion? Vote on the motion.
Gelfen.
Yes.
Dietz.
Yes.
Augenbaugh.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes. Public comments on any subject.
Leo Brooks, I'm the Assistant Fire Chief. First, I want to thank for the resolution for Chief Swager. Second, I apologize in advance. We had discussed with the fire department coming like maybe once a month and discussing, the happenings in the fire department, just to keep you guys in the loop, kind of like a little chief's report to you guys and community. So with that, we also wanted to do something for our members to recognize them for specific achievements that they do, like kids going through fire school or years of service or whatever that thing. But real quick, I won't take much time. We are doing church washdowns in the community right now, so if you guys see us out and about, they're actually doing some tonight in the city. So then some upcoming events we're doing. We're going to be at the Sunny 106 Kids Fair, giving fire truck rides. That's April 7th from 12:30 to 3. That's at Central Catholic High School. St. Clair's having an event for Child Abuse Prevention Month on April 13th, and that's at 10 a.m. We will be there also with the trucks. I'm not sure what the scope of what we're doing there, but we'll have several trucks there. Downtown Washdown, I wanted to let you guys know we planned it for Sunday, April 21st. That'll be at 6 p.m. Sunday seems to work best because of traffic. It's pretty light and stuff like that. And that's, if anybody doesn't know, we cleaned all the debris off from the winter, anti-skid and that stuff from the sidewalks and stuff like that in downtown. Fire school's going on. We've had the trucks over there quite a bit. The guys over there volunteering their weekends, helping with the kids over there during fire school. The City of DuBois has several young people taking the class, so that's good for them. Fundraisers. Third Ward has their meatloaf dinner coming up the 7th, April 7th at 11 a.m. I'll be there at 5 a.m. with a couple other guys, throwing them in the smoker, so hope to see everybody there. And Volunteers has their Fireman's Platter. Everybody's familiar with that. Pierogies, Belushki. They have the tickets for that event, so if you want to see one of those folks or get in touch with me, I can get you in touch with one of those people. That's May 19th. And the last but not least, we have a member at Third Ward who has 70 years in the department. back on March 7th. And a lot of you probably know him, it's Sam McNaughton. So Pat probably knows it from being a member of the station for a time, but yeah, 7 years is quite an accomplishment. So, I mean, he's still active, he comes around, comes to every meeting, fundraisers, so that's, I mean, he deserves to be recognized by the community, so that's it.
Thank you.
Next. Yes, sir.
Charlie Meckling, Monroe Street. In regards to the treasurer's insistence of a motion being made to open an account for the new neighborhood fund, my question to the treasurer, did you insist on motions being made to open the many accounts that were opened for Mr. Simplizio using the city's EIN number for his personal use?
I never saw the EIN numbers that were under, only EIN numbers I ever saw was on my tax returns. That's it. Neighborhood fund, Pat brought to us. Actually, it was brought to us in January and it was opened without it getting permission first. And then I realized after reading the minutes, it wasn't voted on. So I asked council to vote on it, which our solicitor suggests that happens all the time. So I took the solicitor's advice and I asked the council to vote on it.
We did.
Yeah, yep, and they did. So, good question. But that's how it'll be from now on.
Anybody else? Yes.
Debbie Meckling, Monroe Street. There's been much talk recently concerning the bonuses quietly paid to key members of our DuBois government from 2014 to 2022. The paying bonuses of any kind is highly unusual and not a common practice in municipal government. Greg Prim, past president for the Pennsylvania Association that advocates for professionalism and ethics in local government, said, "Giving bonuses to government employees without a clear policy or public discussion is not a practice that I have ever seen any municipality do or I'm accustomed to seeing in any way, especially bonuses in the amounts given in DuBois." That quote was taken from the Spotlight PA, November 9th, 2023. The title of the article, written by Min Zin and Angela Columbus, investigative journalist, was titled "Richest Little City." Min and Angela obtained a right to know from our DuBois right to know officer. At present, that officer is Chris Nasuti. The gatekeeper prior to Mr. Nasuti, was Tony Cherry. The action of paying bonuses was not voted on by former DuBois City Council. This proposal was quietly brought about by our former city manager. This past bonus policy is very timely and needs attention now, because at this time our present council was going through the process of terminating Mr. Simplizio from his former position as city manager. These monies should be paid back to the city by Mr. Simplizio, who enacted this policy on his own for 9 years. This issue should be part of the negotiation for the termination of his contract. It is also worth noting, when the bonus monies were paid to key staffers, no checks were issued. The bonus dollars were deposited into the individual payroll accounts. Also, an interesting observation was, after the 3 raids by the Attorney General in April of 22, there were still bonuses paid out in December, even though an investigation was being conducted on our former city manager concerning the financial practices of our city. The bonus policy was in effect from 2014 to 2022. 9 years this was going on. In 2022 alone, our finance officer's bonus was $12,664.54. Our public works superintendent bonus was $5,397.60. are public $2.78. Our water billing coordinator's bonus was $599.44. Our deputy treasurer's bonus was $1,265.48. Our police chief's bonus was $11,146.08. Our code enforcement officer's bonus was $2,339.22. Our city manager's bonus was $64,215.46. Our IT director's bonus was $1,000.36. Our administrative clerk's bonus was $645.36. Our other administrative clerk's bonus was $354.09. Our administrative secretary's bonus was $1,342.66. If you were to total up the salary for the former city manager for all 9 years, the amount would be $955,045. 9 years of bonuses for our past city manager was $357,358.54. The attorney fees also paid to our former city manager, approved by prior council, were $274,000. The total is $1,586,403.50. That is a lot of money from our small city. The bonuses and lawyer fees need to be paid back. One question I have that keeps niggling at me is, why did no one report these quiet bonuses? Not the treasurer, not the deputy treasurer, not the treasury clerk, not the city controller, not the finance director, not the finance clerk. Let us not forget, the bonuses in question are our tax dollars.
I think Mrs. Meckman did a pretty nice job summarizing my comments.
Thank you.
Can she get part of your check?
I'll speak to her afterwards about organization. And in all seriousness, our records indicate that the bonus would go back even further than 2014.
2008.
They go back into from what we've been able to determine, 2008. Obviously, your questions with respect to all the individuals elected and employees of the city that are charged with protecting the taxpayers and the expenditure of taxpayer funds. I take that my responsibility as a solicitor very seriously. That's part of my charge as a solicitor, is to make sure the city council does things in an appropriate legal manner. How that much money could go out of taxpayer accounts without there being city council approval, without it coming to the public so the public could understand, is beyond my... I've been doing this for a long time, and I represent a lot of governmental entities. The concept of bonuses being awarded is not something that's ever... We've done supplemental payments for additional responsibilities in unique circumstances. Those are always publicly approved. So obviously, it's one of the issues that we're looking at. One of the other issues that we're looking at, there are, I believe, 12, maybe 13 bank accounts that have the city's EIN number that do not go through the standard procedure for the city manager to sign off, the treasurer, the controller, and another city representative. Those signature cards have individuals that aren't elected or employees of the city. That's another area where, once again, to me, as somebody that works in this area in the legal field, that's why you hear when a bank account gets opened up, city council approves that bank account being opened up. They approve the folks that are on the signature cards. That's taxpayer money. I don't care the source of the money. Once it hits a bank account with the city's EIN number, that is taxpayer money That money has to be expended under the authority of city council, and it has to be audited. Many of these accounts, it's my understanding, have never been audited. That's shocking to me as a solicitor, that you would have taxpayer funds, EIN numbers, which signifies that those monies are the city's monies and that they're not be audited. I don't know how that happens, but it's one of the things that city council's asked me to take a look into. It takes time to take a look into these things. City council's working on it with me, with the city manager. We're going to try to sort through this, try to get answers. As we get answers, we'll try to share that information as best we can with you. There are a number of personnel issues that are related to many of the things that we're talking about. Those personnel issues are progressing through the process, and when appropriate, city council have items on their agenda and share their actions with respect to those personnel matters as they can in a public forum. So thank you very much for your comments.
Thank you for responding.
The bonuses weren't just a key employees. I think everybody in this building, any non-union, I think, Chris, almost every non-union
She read the book.
employee. Okay. All right. Any other public comments?
Just, Mayor, if I can, just on that, I think it's important to note that there are elected officials and employees that are specifically charged with the job responsibility and the elected statutory responsibility to make sure public funds, city funds, are expended properly. There are city employees that receive performance bonuses that have absolutely nothing, their job isn't to do that. And not to say that I don't want them painted with too broad of a brush. And I'm not saying anybody's doing that, but I think it's important for those individuals that received bonuses. I'm assuming that a vast majority of them didn't think there was anything wrong with it because it's not within their purview of their job responsibilities to make sure that city council approved it. And this person, when somebody says you're going to receive a bonus, those individuals, most of them probably would have said, I assume that that's gone through the appropriate approval process. It's really those that had the fiduciary obligation, that had the elected responsibility, had the job responsibility to make sure that those bonuses were appropriately approved. Those are the ones that city council really needs to understand. How did the system break down? How does it need to be corrected moving forward so that we don't ever see this again? And looking backwards saying, can we recoup that city taxpayer money in appropriate circumstances? Can it go back to the residents that pay the taxes? So that's what we're working on.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Yes, sir.
Yes, my question's for Attorney Grant. The 13 accounts that
Stand, Sean. Your name and where you're
Sean
from.
Weskey. The 13 accounts, can you ballpark for us what those might total somewhere in the...
Sean, I wish I could. I really can't. Some of them are very small, and some of them, there's absolutely legitimate reasons to have those accounts. The question is, why aren't they being audited? Why aren't they under the control of the mayor and city council? Why aren't the expenditures out of those accounts going through the appropriate expenditure process that the city council should be following when they're managing taxpayer money of any kind?
So the bonuses when they were paid electronically, which elected officials or employees would have been the ones to initiate the EFTs?
We're still looking at that, and quite honestly, I haven't had an opportunity to speak with those individuals. So before I start naming people, I want to show them the courtesy of an opportunity to meet with them and have an opportunity for them to respond and answer questions before I start publicly.
Understood. Those 13 accounts, are they being used in any way now, or are they more or less frozen and grounded and pending?
No, those 13 accounts are still active. And once again, I don't want to imply that anybody that's utilizing any of those 13 accounts is misappropriating funds in any way. I'm just telling you that there's 12 or 13 accounts out there that have the city's EIN number that aren't being audited, that aren't being scrutinized by the controller and the treasurer and city council and the finance director. That's an issue. So we need to unwind that issue. We need to work collaboratively with folks to transition that under the supervision and control of the city council, the controller, the treasurer, the finance director, all the other responsible individuals, so that those funds could, and the auditor, I haven't mentioned the auditor, but the auditor, the new city's new auditor will most certainly audit those funds annually.
Has there been a wide net cast to see if the city's EIN number has been used at any other banks throughout the Commonwealth or the United States?
A net has been cast. Whether it's wide, whether it's wide enough is yet to be seen. But yes,
I didn't know if there were companies like Check Systems, for example, that could.
Efforts have been made to identify financial institutions that we may be unaware of that have city EIN accounts. We're not done. We're not done looking. That process moving on.
Thank you. Thanks. Anybody else?
Tom Dusky, DuBois here. He kind of stole my thunder. I was wondering, this river of money that flows through here, who was it that allowed this money to go to these different people? And Counselor, you mentioned these bonuses. You almost make it sound like, oh golly, it's okay. Those are some pretty substantial bonuses. I don't know if you ever worked a regular job, but bonuses like that, I've never seen bonuses like that. And the manager, that last one was $65,000. That's over $1,000 a week for a bonus. Who's watching this stuff is my question. Who is making that to happen, allowed to make that happen? So you're probably still working on it, but it's staggering. Who's guarding the guards,
We're guarding now, Tom. We are guarding now.
Yeah, I hope we can get it straightened out.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
A couple weeks ago, I asked you about tenants. Richard Phelps, DuBois, about water bills being in landlord's name. Specifically asked you twice. You told me you had the records in your truck. Not true. Is that what you were talking about earlier when you stated?
Yes.
So
I've answered that. I addressed that.
As that problem.
I addressed that.
How does that work? How do you get away with it that long? You're not new at run a business.
I don't know.
Somebody in the city.
I don't know.
Oh, come on, that's not an answer. That's not an answer. How come everybody else has to do it and you got away with it? You've been renting how many years?
I've been a landlord since 2019.
And you didn't know this?
No.
That's unacceptable to me. I'm an uneducated person and I know that.
Okay.
I have rental plate. I think you full-faced lied to me.
No.
You did. And I would suggest you resign.
That won't be happening.
I suggest someone on the council ask you to resign, and I want a second. That's just totally unacceptable. How can you sit there and be the mayor when you don't even know the rules?
I don't know the water department rules. I didn't when I.
You don't know the landlord rules?
No.
They tell you that as soon as you run a place.
Sorry, this just really isn't. The mayor's answered your question. I appreciate you expressing your opinion, but
Okay,
I don't think there's anything the mayor's going to say that's going to change your mind.
It's not, because
Okay.
he's a liar.
Okay.
On the renters, I still object to people wanting to come into my rental property, and you should too, if you're a landlord. I think this is no good, and that's my story.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Michael Clement, I have a comment about this. I'm curious as to, first off, how Mr. Phillips knew that bill existed that way. Second off, if it exists, it certainly has to be on the city of DuBois and not a resident. You need this building to start taking responsibility for the way they have things listed. It's not the mayor's fault you were a resident when this happened. This would have happened seems years ago.
Yeah,
I don't know how a private resident knows that
I
it
wasn't
your
on
name.
council, yeah.
I'm confused by that, which means, I think, probably somebody in this building told them. But guess what? That shouldn't happen. We should not be using offices in our city to be going after residents. So, Mayor, please do not resign. Please ignore that comment. Thank you.
Thanks.
Right to now.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I have a question. I wasn't here at the last meeting, but you're talking about putting a levy or a fee on these apartments that the landlords own, okay? What I want to know is the people that are in St. Michael's Terrace, Gray's apartment buildings, and the high rise, Jack's, across the pizza, Frank's Pizzas, Jack Shuttlesworth building is deceased now. How are they gonna handle all them people that are on HUD in there that's gonna pay that? They'd have to get that money from the tenant.
What money are you talking about?
Huh?
What money are you talking about?
This $50 that you're gonna apply within
So
a
there,
year.
can I answer this?
Yeah.
There is so much misinformation about a landlord-tenant agreement. People were looking at the agreement that was put out from the former council, which was Diane Bernardo. We have not looked, that agreement has nothing to do with this council. We have not discussed it at all. Chris is working on a draft. We have nothing in writing. We have not talked about fees, nothing. So there is so much, I know I've had multiple people come to me forming a lynch mob, which, hey, I'm all for it, you know? But there's nothing we've even worked on. We have no idea what fees, what we're requiring, nothing at this point, nothing.
But eventually this is gonna happen, is what you're saying.
Eventually, there will be something, but we don't know if there's going to be inspections, if there's going to be fees. We don't know anything. Right now, you're presuming stuff that we haven't even talked about yet. So we are hoping that some landlords will come to Chris or council and talk in a nice manner. Or Sean Arbaugh, I think I see him peeking back there, who will be up here. But we want to work this out, that it is good for the city, it's good for the landlords, and it's good for the tenants. But we don't have anything yet with fees, nothing at all. There is nothing we have discussed about, except Chris has been doing some research on the agreement. So for everyone to start already in an uproar, there's no reason we haven't talked about it at all. We have, as you can see, we have a lot bigger fish to fry right now. That this is something we would like to work on in the future for the betterment of this community. But we haven't talked about it. There's no $50 fee. Phil, we don't even know what the fee would be because we haven't discussed it.
Eventually there's gonna be a fee.
We don't know. We haven't talked about it. We have not talked about it. So all the presumption, we don't know what it's going to look like at all. And like I said, this isn't at the forefront right now. We have a lot of other things to worry about right now.
It just won't get pushed through without people knowing.
Absolutely not. We are hoping that people come to us and talk to us. I know people have already come to my flower shop. I've made them talk to me while I'm working, but it is what it is. I'm a landlord too. So I have quite a few units. You know, I don't want, but somewhere along the line, we need to be proactive instead of reactive. But we are not going to push something through without input from the many landlords in this community.
Well, what I'm saying too is Sandy Township hasn't joined up with this organization yet, okay? And they should have an input about what's going on with them fees because they're not even involved in it, just like if the
Correct.
resolution will go through, it would just go right over to Sandy Township when Sandy Township goes with the city.
Yep, and that's why we have Sean Arbaugh coming in here, and he's gonna be our fearless leader along with Chris as his sidekick, and we'll work on it.
You can control him too, you know what I'm saying?
Yep, we're gonna try, Phil, we're gonna try.
Okay.
Any other subjects? Oh, wait a minute. You good? Council member comments.
I just want to remind everybody, it's starting to get nice out. More kids will be out running around, kids on the bikes, pedestrians. Just be careful when you're out there driving around, watching for kids or people to walk out in front of you, because it happens quite a bit. Also, be aware the motorcycles are going to start coming out. Hard to see them at times. Be aware of that. We will be having more patrols at the city park now, because people are going to start utilizing that. And also, Assistant Chief Roy actually gave me a good idea where we're going to have a couple guys on bikes during the day and evenings on bike patrol for the city park and the walkways around Showers Field and stuff like that.
Great. Zach, anything?
Dumpster day is next week, so everybody remember to bring their ID and water bill.
It's the first Wednesday of the month. Bring your ID with you and a water bill that shows that you're a citizen of the city, and you can use those. And they take anything, and they even put it in the dumpster for you. You throw it in the backhoe, and
No construction debris.
no construction debris. Yeah, just
Electronics?
yes,
Yep.
which is a tough one to get rid of. So I mean, yeah, stuff like that. Yep.
No tires.
No tires. Okay.
No, I just want to remind everybody that the city will be closed on Friday for Good Friday. So, we won't be open.
Nothing right now. Thank you.
Oh, what more do I want to say? First, I'd like to thank Leo Brooks from the fire department. I think it would be great that we have a monthly report, and I also think it would be nice to recognize, along with the fire department, also the police department and city employees, to give them some recognition going forward. I'm excited with the agreement. And Phil, I promise we're not going to push through a rental agreement without any
I didn't want
input.
to say you were going to, I was saying, it
Yep.
just looks a little, there's a lot of holes in the works there.
Yep, there's
absolutely.
the agreement that you saw.
How are you going to control that?
Yep, which we're gonna work on. So we wanna work
And
with,
realize the people that are renting are gonna end up paying the $50 or $30 a year, they're gonna pay. So you're gonna either drive, there's so many people on HUD right now for rentals, it's pathetic. They're actually, HUD don't have any more room for them.
yep, so we're gonna work on it. But it's nice to see people here. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Tom.
I got one question. You just said about a water bill, you can use that dumpster. If you're in Sandy Township, you can use your water bill.
No.
No.
Be a resident of
No,
the
have to, a resident of the DuBois.
Well, if you get your water bill from the city, that would prove to them that you're in the city.
No, because we bill for the trash too through the water bill. So your trash has to be billed through the water bill. We don't use the dumpster on dumpster day.
Sandy Township has their own dumpster day.
Yes.
Oh, I see. You use Sandy Township's dumpster, don't bother with the cities.
If you live in Sandy, use Sandy's. If you live in DuBois, use
But I'm just
DuBois.
saying, if you got a water bill, you could do it.
Okay, go back and forth. Tom, you have anything? You did good.
Blessed Easter for everybody. Have a safe and blessed Easter.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. I know I've been here for 6 months or so, and I will tell you that I've never seen a business like the city where everybody knows their job, all the employees know their job, and they do their job. I see them, I talk to them, I'm here all the time. The firemen, you don't even think about the firemen until there's a great big fire and you see pictures and stuff like that, but they're out there every day. They have how many calls? It's just, they're doing a great job, and they go through a lot of training and a lot of work. We have some great employees and great police and firemen and everything. It's a great city.
Elliot? I'm good. Just like to wish everyone a happy Easter.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved to second. All in favor? No.
Gelfen.
Vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Augenbaum. Jackson.
Yes.
Yes.
Reesinger.
Yes.
Just looked at Debbie with an ID.
See how much we paid.
It's just in the blood.
Probably shouldn't sign on the game.
Thank you, Jimmy. We'll see you, buddy.
See you, Jason. He's got like 5 caps. So how's They have like 2 dogs and 3 cats. I can see the mayor for a second.
Tuesday, Monday.